Yeah, yeah. I think we've all grown up with the saying, or at least have heard the saying, right? Los hombres no lloran. Like, men don't cry. I can tell you countless of times I heard that growing up, right? But I remember this one time in particular. I must have been about 6, 7 years old. I remember the Batman Returns had just come out, the movie, right? And they had all the toys and stuff. I remember I was walking through CVS with my mom, the toy sections, and saw the Batman with the Batmobile toy, right? And let me tell you, by far, that's the best Batmobile ever, alright? The coolest one ever, alright? That Batman Returns Batmobile, best Batmobile. But anyway, I wanted this toy, right? And my mom, I remember asking my mother for it, and my mom was like, no. And typical kid, right? That's 6, 7 years old. I start crying, right? Like, Mom, I really want it. Hysterical, hoping that she'll get it for me, right? And I remember her here saying to me, hey, los hombres no lloran. Men don't cry. Me recuerdo eso. I remember that in particular, right? I remember feeling, okay, I gotta man up. I think about it now as a dad, being on the other side of it now. What am I going to show my kid? What am I going to teach my boy? Now, fast forward years later, I'm watching my son and all his emotions. He's only 8 months old, but man, he's growing so much and displaying all these emotions, and to him they're big. And yes, starting to have the meltdowns already at this young age. And I catch myself thinking, like, what do I teach him in these moments? What do I tell him? Stop crying, or do I do something different? See? And it's not that our parents are just trying to be mean or anything like that, right? That's not the case. I think it's just sometimes you don't know what you don't know, right? Or you do what you're taught. Or sometimes, like in my case, the Batman toy $10 meant maybe $10 that she can use to feed my sisters and I, right? So like I get it, I understand it, right? But I think that type of thinking, whether you mean to or not, kind of teaches a kid that vulnerability is weakness, right? That a man shouldn't cry. That you should bottle in and not cry. Ay! And that's something that I don't want to teach my son. I want to be able to hold my son when he cries. I want to be able to comfort him and tell him that it's okay to feel these emotions. I think Los Hombres no lloran isn't something that is going to be passed down in my family anymore. See, because that's not real strength. Real strength is feeling your emotions, feeling the totality of it all, but still showing up. And that's what I want to show him.